CBIT college and particularly Professor for giving me this opportunity to share this time with you. Today, in fact, it's a coincidence, I would say. This year, I'll be completing 30 years as a civil engineer. So, that is why I thought I must start sharing my knowledge, what I acquired. Whatever knowledge we get is from the society. So, as many people say, we have to give it back to the society. And you are the future society. That's fine. So, as introduced, I am Managing Director of Satyavani Projects and Consultants, which I started in '94. It's also 22 years old. And I am basically a structural engineer, employing about 250 engineers in my company, doing projects all over India and some projects abroad also. In US, Middle East, Europe, Far East and Africa also. We did some of the projects. Apart from towers, we deal with runways, airport runways, metro rail projects, building projects, roads, and many other which I will be showing. So today I will be talking to you about the civil engineering profession as a challenging career. And I name it as Smart Simulation. I started this Smart Impress as a fallout of one of the students like you who questioned me, what is it that all branches of engineering have campus interview and civil engineers don't have campus interview? This is the question one of the students asked me in one of the sessions like this. So I have been doing this career guidance for civil engineers for quite long. And last year it so happened in Coimbatore, one student asked me, for whom I didn't have a real answer. Though I convinced him, because he is younger to me, I could convince him. But I am not convinced. So I thought I must do something in this direction. So how we can solve this problem? Before I get on to this Smart Infra's details, infrastructure, it's basically Infrastructure Engineering Services Trust. I started this trust to assure civil engineers that there is a trust that can come to your rescue if you have any motivation or ideas to implement your professional career. So this is about Smart Simulation. So before we get on to it, it is our culture to pray to our elders, and Mokshagundam Visvesvaraya is the eldest of all and is the first Bharat Ratna among engineers in our country. And he served this country for 102 years. He lived for 102 years. And as an engineer, he even helped Hyderabad get water, manage the floods about 100 years back, 90 years back. Next is engineer Dr. K.L. Rao, who is also Padma Bhushan, who has resigned from a government, joined as an irrigation department as assistant engineer. He joined as assistant engineer in irrigation department and grown to the level of becoming the minister, central minister for irrigation and water resources. So he is also another respectable engineer. And this engineer you will be knowing. How many of you know or seen him? You are not able to see? None of you know? You don't read newspapers? He is Engineer Sridharan, popularly known as Metro Man. He is a living legend. He is now in Cochin. He is the advisor for all the metros in our country, metro rail projects, including our Hyderabad Metro Rail. And Delhi Metro Rail or Konkan Railways have happened because of him. He also is a man who joined railways as assistant engineer. As any of us write UPSC exam, IES and join. He joined like that and grown to the level of managing director of the DMRC, and who is respected, accepted across parties in our country, which is a rare phenomenon. That is Congress government or BJP government. He was accepted, and all the metro projects are handed over to him, and it is because of him that these metro projects are happening. And this is, do you know him? A. Ramakrishna. He is L&T man, actually. If you are seeing the L&T giant today, he joined L&T as assistant engineer, as a normal engineer in a private firm, and grown to the level of joint managing director of 30,000 crore company today. And it is the biggest infrastructure company, and he is the man behind making it happen. So we have to draw inspiration from such people if we want to be civil engineers. So I pray for them, pray to them to give us similar courage and similar strength to grow like them. All of us, all of you here, because you have a long career ahead. For you, I am praying. And these are the projects which we have in India, implemented by our own engineers, Indian engineers. The Golden Quadrilateral. How many of you know about Golden Quadrilateral? You can raise the hands. Yeah, that's good. At least 4 of you know. And actually, it is the highway network. If today you are able to travel between Hyderabad to Vijayawada, Vijayawada to Vizag in 3-4 hours time, it is because of that project, Golden Quadrilateral. All major metro cities. And this is the irrigation project. Next. And this is a great separator in Gurgaon. Next. And this is the Delhi metro. You see, if you have traveled to Delhi by metro, you see these stations no way less than any of the best metros in the world. This is the Delhi metro, which is equaling any of the international standards. Any one of you know what is the best metro in the world? It is Vienna, Austria. Austria capital. If you have traveled there or if you are going to travel, you must experience the metro experience. There are 6 levels of tubes underground. There are 6 levels, and that is the latest, if you consider in the last 2-3 decades, that is the latest and best metro in the world. And this is Delhi metro again, underground. This is the kind of quality our engineers could deliver. You call it precast, you call it geotechnical engineering, you call it metro. It is done by our own engineers. And these are the power projects we have done up to the level of 1000 megawatts, nuclear power, thermal power, and even the wind power. Next. Yeah, this is the wind power. If you have traveled to Kanyakumari, or at least if you have watched any Telugu movies where some songs were picturized there. So this is the irrigation distribution channels, which is again engineers of the cause. And this is a cement plant. I'm just showing some of the projects which we civil engineers are going to handle in future. Next. Can any one of you tell me what it is? Loud. Bombay Worli ceiling bridge. This is another challenging project by our own Indian company, HCC. And you can see the largest and how beautiful it is. Whether it is quality, challenge, or delivery. And this is another residential project of 60 floors, which is done in Bombay. 60 floors residential towers. Or mass housing, this is a scene we see in Hyderabad also now. We are doing 3 million square feet of housing. These are all challenging projects which we are going to handle. Next. What is this?
Airport.
Hyderabad Airport. This is the best airport in the world today, under 5 million category. Not only the service, as per the design also. As far as design is concerned, I rate it as the best. So we have done this kind of projects. Next. Yeah, next. Probably from there. Good. Yeah. So, we we talk about civil engineers get into civilization as civil engineers. Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, when the word civil engineering didn't exist, there were engineers working actually. It is the only engineer who can create a constructed facility, habitation, or water supply, or drainage. All these things are handled by engineers. And comfortable living. If somebody says comfortable living, it is to be provided by we engineers. You call it power, you call it communication. The Android phone that we use, it is manufactured in an industry, building to be done by engineers. And the communication, the signal that you get, radio signal, is done by engineers. The optic fiber cable that is laid for a backbone, that is done by engineers. So I am just trying to tell you what is the scope of we engineers having in civil engineering. And what is engineering? How many of us know what is actually engineering? It is a methodical science nurtured into an art by an engineer. A technology, that is technology actually. It's a methodical science nurtured into an art by an engineer. We implement this engineering. Whereas the engineering by itself is an analytical science, basically. We analyze everything. We try to create things. We design. That is analytical science. And I'm going to talk about civil engineering, focused on civil engineering. I'm a civil engineer. I'm a proud civil engineer actually. I'm very happy that I have become an engineer. I want to share with you another important thing. From the age of 3 years or 5 years, when I know that I am a man, I wanted to be a civil engineer. And I have become a civil engineer. And this is my choice. This is not an option. I have chosen to be a civil engineer, and I am happy to be a civil engineer. And this is the best profession I feel. One, if you want to be happy, if you want to, because this is the only profession where we create things. We are not a supporting, we are not playing a supporting role like a chartered accountant or a doctor. You have to go to a doctor only when you are sick. You have to go to a chartered accountant only when you default on tax. You have to go to a lawyer only when you have a litigation. But you have to go to an engineer when you want to live in a comfortable house. So it is the engineer who can create better things for life. And this is where I create things as an engineer. Now, engineers in general are creators, and civil engineers are base for all other engineers here. So that is where I am very proud to be a civil engineer. And I enjoy doing things because everything that I do, I can see. I know what is happening. Compared with an electronics engineer or a software engineer, how many of them know what is actually happening inside? We use the Android phone. Can you tell me one person who can explain the functioning of an Android phone? No. No single person, but it is a teamwork. But when it comes to a building, any project that I do, I can explain about every inch of the building that I have built, even the largest size of project. This is where I derive my happiness. So this is the opportunity we have before us. But there are challenges, like the challenge is people are not using engineers. Many of the buildings are built without engineers. So this is the challenge before us. We have made an estimate that every crore spent in construction requires 10 man-months of engineering. And you know how many crores are spent every year in our country? Today, this year. 15 lakh crores. So how many man-months are required to spend that 15 lakh crores? 150 lakhs, that is 1.5 crore man-months, which is equivalent to 20 lakh people working, but it's not being deployed. Well, you call it a department engineer, government engineers, or a private engineer, or a construction engineer. There are so many opportunities available, which is not happening. That is where we want to play a role, and for that role, we want all of you to be with us. If we work together, we must educate. If you see my page, Smart in Fresh page, or my own page, I keep writing about the problems we are facing. Like the roads, only Hyderabad roads if you take, today, you know how much time we are spending on the roads. Normally, if you travel in half an hour, if there is a rain, you spend 2.5 hours. Why is that 2 hours extra we are spending? Do you know the simple reason is the administrators decide how much money is to be spent on roads, not engineers. Administrator is the IAS officer who doesn't know what is a road and what is a drainage. And they say that, and politicians, our corporators, our MLAs, MPs, they say, I want this road to be laid and I have 1 crore rupees, whereas the required is 10 crores. So what you do? You do the black topping or white topping. Only topping you do. How long the topping lasts? And you know, there is a rain, the sand comes onto the road. And that spoils the road. And I have calculated recently, on Hyderabad roads, you know what is the extent of roads Hyderabad has, city? 23,000 kilometers. And we require 5,000 engineers in GHMC to maintain these roads. Even if you take 5 kilometers, 1 engineer. Which is a tough task actually, but still if you say that only 5 kilometers will allow 1 engineer to handle, then you need 5,000 engineers. But you know how many engineers are there in GHMC? It's only 500. 110. So what will happen? Tomorrow you have the exam. You have not read anything. I'll give you 500-page book onto your head and say read and write the exam. Definitely you don't read even a page. So that's what is happening. The engineer who is supposed to maintain this road, each engineer is given 50 kilometers to handle. He can't even travel that 50 kilometers to maintain these roads. So he is not doing anything. And he is accepting what our corporator says. If the corporate is happy, he is happy. But we are not happy, public. The roads, the draining, flooding. How much of flooding problems we have? Who is handling? This is the engineer's job. We have that opportunity, but unfortunately, we are not being used. So we campaign that engineers have to do the engineering work, nobody else. So this is our right, being engineers. Otherwise, why you are giving so many seats to engineers? Earlier, 10 years back, there are only in Hyderabad, our combined state of AP, we used to have only 2,000 civil engineers coming out. And you know now how many are coming out? Only in Telangana 20,000 engineers are coming out, civil. I'm talking about only civil. And in the overall country, we are admitting 2 lakh civil engineers. So you create jobs. Why you are giving seats and not giving the jobs? Okay, government doesn't do. Who will do that? It is we who have to do it. Every engineer can work on a construction of a house. You know how much it costs to construct a house today? About 30 lakhs, independent house. And out of 30 lakhs, it requires 10 man-months again, not 1 crore. Even the house requires 10 man-months. But how many of them spending 10 man-months on construction of a house? Because we are not spending, the result is we are seeing the buildings, weeping buildings in Hyderabad. You see, if it rains, you see dampness on all the buildings, cracks in the buildings. This is the result of bad engineering or non-engineered building. So we have to work for this. This is what is the challenge we take, and the reasons we identified is academics. How many of you have chosen civil engineering here? Oh, that's great. Chosen means, what I mean is, you would have got electronics or computer science, but still you have preferred to join civil engineering. This is the people. Oh, that's great. That's great. I am very happy actually. When many colleges I ask this question, the response I get is not even 1%. Not even 1%. So I'm very happy about CBIT. That means I rank CBIT as the best. So you people have to bear the torch now. That means the other colleges, they are not joining civil engineering because they want to be civil engineers. They are joining because they get only that. But here you have chosen civil engineering. So you know the leaders. I say that in our profession, civil engineering, anyone who has a little bit of higher IQ, little bit of good communication skills, you can become the leaders. So what I'm trying to convey is, don't leave civil engineering. You have the best opportunity. You have the best opportunity. Don't get into IT or other thing. Here I must say, I always compare IT professionals to heroines and civil engineering professional to heroes. So which is the movie which has earned maximum revenues of late? Who is Kabali? That is the movie which has net. And what is the age of the hero? Yeah, so 65, 70 years. And do you know how much he would have earned when he was 30 years old? He didn't even act when he was 30 years old. Whereas if you take heroines, once they cross 30, they are not seen in any movie. Same with IT professionals. You have the maximum value when you are young, because IT requires that IQ levels, that energy levels. Once you cross that energy level, you are down. You show me an IT professional above 40 years or of my age, my friends I know, none of them are in IT companies anymore. They are sent out. Or they will be doing non-IT jobs, either HR or finance or something else. Definitely not IT. So why to get into such place? Whereas my profession, civil engineering profession, is like a granite stone. Granite stone is rough. If you go to temples, you see that they have done rough granite 100 years back. Today it is like polished granite. A professional who works more and more gets more polished and his value increases. This is the professionalism. So you might start at lower level. I am sure most of the people are going to IT jobs because of the pay packet. 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 10 lakhs per annum. But civil engineering doesn't pay because you have to learn to be a professional. Heroes, what will happen? When will they get the first opportunity? They don't get the opportunity because once they get the opportunity and they start going, today Vijay, Pelli Chuklu movie, you see what is happening. Pawan Kalyan speaks to him, one movie. But to get that opportunity, how much struggle do you see? Same with the civil engineers. We are professionals, we can't get the opportunity easy, but once you get the opportunity, your value can multiply many-fold. This is the position you are in. So, my advice, particularly to CBIT, is please don't leave this civil engineering. You are having the best edge over others because you have chosen to be civil engineer. So training is another challenge our industry is facing in civil engineering. Particularly, there is no professional training, institutional training, which we are trying to focus on. Internships, the so-called. Many people complain, students only. We are out of the college, but we get the job only if we have experience, they say. And you don't get experience easily. So what is the viability is internship, which we facilitate. Short-term internship when you are in the college, and long-term internship once you are out of the college. So you are not asked about experience. Intern means nobody will ask you experience. But you gain the experience of 1 year by working as an intern, but paid intern. So this we are popularizing in the industry to take interns so that you get the opportunity to expose yourself, showcase your skills to the industry. And happiness, I explained about what is real happiness and joy in a life. It's not eating good food or playing good game or watching a good movie. They are all short-lived happiness. But the career, successful career is something which will take you through your end of life. That happiness lasts till end. If you are having integrity, honesty, ethical values and still succeed, not in terms of money, in terms of knowledge, gaining the knowledge, that is the best happiness. And this is, I'll just take you to the interdisciplinary. Like a civil engineer is the only engineer centric to any construction project. This is what I would like to tell you. We deal with architects, we deal with geotechnical engineering, survey, geological, metallurgical, and water management, electrical, mechanical. We should understand these subjects actually. public health engineering, air conditioning, thermodynamics, that is lighting, acoustics, signage, landscape, arboriculture, and circulation. Circulation is traffic. These are the things which we should know. And the statutory bodies are National Building Code, Institution of Engineers. These are the only bodies where in our country an engineer is defined. This is the challenge we are facing. We have to work for getting an act to recognize an engineer in our constitution. Still it is not there. Not only civil engineers, any engineer. There is no word engineer in our constitution. So this is another challenge. And so we are in a vicious circle. Like a good, I can't say this in CBIT because you are all, definitely I rate you as good engineers, but other colleges where I go, where they are just coming just by chance, not even option. Just by chance they are becoming civil engineers. One good thing in civil engineering is, at least once you enter into civil engineering, if you decide to be a civil engineer, you can become the best. Definitely. That is the advantage in our field. So we are not getting quality engineers, so we are not able to make quality professionals. And so we are getting bad clients, like what we are seeing today. The roads, drains, problems, and people think bad engineers. And then we will not be paid well. So if we are not paid well, the same problem, like people don't join civil engineering. Then it's worse. It's a vicious circle. We have to break it and reverse the cycle. That is where you are doing it. I am happy. I am definitely, now that I have seen today the response, I want to work more closely with CBIT. And probably this is the first simulation I am doing in CBIT. That's why probably I am to be blamed, though I did in other colleges. So CBIT, I would like, so quality engineers have to be kept in civil engineering profession, and better profession, better appreciation by clients, better paid, and you get the better guys. So it's a vicious circle we have to change. It is in our hands. Otherwise you complain, you get out of civil engineering. But what is civil engineering? Ultimately, we are working for ourselves, for our life, better water, better waste management, better infrastructure. But I see most of the people, they complain this infrastructure is bad and go to US. My life is short, why should I bother to change this country? I'll change my country and go to other country. But I'm sure I have my friends who are repenting after 40, whoever would have gone abroad. Because there again you are a second-rated citizen, you are dumped. So this country requires best engineers. We have to change our infrastructure. We have to make our country better live with better conditions. And this I have talked about GDP and investment. Sorry. This is important area. So these are the disciplines we have. I talked about irrigation engineers, hydrology, rainwater, runoff, groundwater, and command area development like canals, drains. Now we have this mission Bhagiratha happening in our Telangana state. So mission canals, drains, and water grids, dams, barrages, tidal power, public health engineering like drainage and water supply, which is dealt by HMWSS and SP. And environment like solid waste management, which is done by GHMC now. And effluent treatment in industries, air quality management in industries. This is the power generation. The power generation we work, and power transmission, this is the transmission we work, and distribution. That is the substations, poles and all, it is the responsibility of our own civil engineers. And communication, towers, again. I am very happy to share with you that 60% of the towers in this country are designed and managed by me, our company. This is the, we have 5 lakh towers in India, 5 lakh towers, out of which 3 lakhs are done by our design. And the disciplines we have is structural engineering, you have the housing. Housing is a specialization by itself. Now affordable housing, the government is talking about housing for all. You know how many houses to be built in our country in the coming 10 years is 12 crores. 12 crore houses to build. We are still dangling with the policy, but people, you see a lot of people living on the roads. Houseless, homeless people. I mean, our heart goes for it. So we have to work for housing, roads, highways and rural roads. Pradhan Mantri Rozgar, PMGSY, Gram Sadak Yojana. And this is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, PMAY. And you have the railways, now a lot of railways to be built, airports. Still we have to add ports and harbors, bridges. And surveying, that is the investigation, GIS now. And industry, heavy mining, that is coal mining, iron ore, aluminum ore, and engineering industries like automobile. We design even the buildings for automobile industry, that is and small process industries, food processing, textile. And disciplines are construction planning and management. You can specialize as a construction engineer. Materials, products, equipment, and machinery out of materials like even flooring, cement, steel, and tourism and entertainment. I am happy I am associated with Snow World. I am associated with Lumbini Laser Park. I am associated with Jal Vihar. I am associated with Ocean Park. I am associated with Eat Street. All these projects are done by entertainment and media. And academics. Yeah, now I am coming to the highest level of career, that is research. Academics and research. Here I must tell you the levels of career. I mean, for you to choose career, where you want to be. Of all, as taught by my professor in IIT, Professor C.S. Krishnamurthy, who is no more, he used to tell us in the class, research is the highest sacrificing profession. We know a lot of researchers, Edison, Thomas Alva Edison and all, who have invented, but they didn't get any money out of it. It is he who has made the money. So, when you are a researcher, you are passionate about it. You can't sleep without solving the problem. But once you solve the problem, you go to the next problem. You don't bother about what you earn out of it. So researchers are the highest sacrificing fraternity in this world of the humanity. And next comes the academicians, our professors here. They are the next sacrificing people. They don't expect much. Or I would say, for the level of work that they do, the knowledge that they possess, the earnings are not proportionate. But still they sacrifice that for the sake of giving learning. Next comes our engineering and management. That is the third level. That's what I am doing, for example. I am an engineer or manager. We are at the middle level. Next comes administrators, the IAS officer, the so-called. You write one exam of 3 hours and then 6 hours. You are an IAS officer. An interview of another 1 hour. They are also like us. But the only difference that they are making is they have chosen an administrative officer. Once they become, we know what they are doing. And the next level is the politicians. That is the last. We have seen Arvind Kejriwal becoming chief minister within a year's time. He has become a chief minister. If you want to become a chief minister as an engineer, you can never become. At the most, you can become engineer-in-chief. That is the highest position you can reach. So this is the choosing of career, discipline. This is very important for you people. You have to decide where you want to go. This is another important. So, yeah. Design, planning, tendering, quantity survey, construction technology and management. Construction technology is fast growing discipline now. That is, we call construction engineering. In metro rail projects, you see that launching girders. That is, you have small segments brought together, that is part of construction engineering. They design that launching girders. And then supervision, quality control and assurance, technical audits, investigation, geotechnical engineering, topographic surveys. And consulting, IT applications. In IT applications, you have GIS, AM and FM, computer design. What is AM and FM? Can anyone tell me? Yeah. Advanced mapping and facility management. It is the basic necessity for any smart city. In a smart city, they manage this power, water, drainage, waste, everything through this digitized information about the facilities. And barriers, entrepreneurs, you can become an entrepreneur or a contractor, project managers, builders and developers, and government departments. If you go through IES, I don't underrate any of the departments actually. They are very good. I see best people in these departments, public sector also, like PHL. India has got the best managed companies in public sector. PHL, Power Grid Corporation, Engineers India Limited. These are one of the best companies. And we have departments like MPS, National Highway Authority, India, and all these departments. And our own state government engagement care, roads and building. So finally, our challenges as civil engineers, the first and foremost is integrity. Be with civil engineering. The quality, retain the quality with civil engineering. And the quality of our services. And next is the leadership. Most of the engineers are not leaders. So we have to also learn to be leaders. To lead the projects. And then the economy in the projects. And managerial abilities. We learn engineering, but we are not good managers. This is also a challenge. And public trust. Public trust we are losing. So this is another important deliverability of the project. People don't have confidence that if they give it to an engineer, he will be able to deliver. We have to build that deliverability confidence. IQ levels, of course, that we talk. Systems and processes in engineering. Every engineer has got his own process. So we have to bring in the uniform. This is where training comes. And finally, professional ethics. This is the biggest challenge I am facing actually. The engineers, many engineers join government departments to make other earnings, which is very wrong actually. And we are affecting our own. And healthy competition. These are the challenges we have. And these are the projects which I have done. I'll just show you the photographs. So I'll just run the photographs of the projects which we are doing all over India. This is a defense project in Arunachal Pradesh, Indo-China border, which is a 900 crore project with runways and all, where people, to reach the place from Guwahati takes 2 days. That's the kind of project we are handling. So these are all some of the projects. Nuclear power also we are handling. Yeah, thank you. And this is the housing for defense personnel. This is IT buildings, the Dell in high-tech cities, which was completed in 6 months, 6 lakh square feet. And this is the tallest building. This is ISB 20-story building completed in 20 months. And this is the tallest residential building, first tallest residential building in Hyderabad, Saket, which we have done. And this is the mass housing, and BVK1 is done by us, the Mar and Multiplex. And this is Jalvihar, Ocean Park, Laser Gallery, and Snow World. And these are the IT buildings, SAP Labs and Aditya Trade Center in town. And these are power plants in Gujarat and Vizag. And this is the metro project we did in Gurgaon. And industrial projects. Mahindra in Jahirabad, the ITC. These are all the projects we have done. A lot of residential projects, Janapriya, Manjira, Diamond Towers, Ramki, Cosmos, and Bhubaneswar, and all the Nuclear Power Corporation, and school, Indus International School, and a lot of engineering colleges also. So these are the stadiums even, the National Gachipoli Stadium and Nalsar Stadium, indoor stadiums, interior stadium. So this is my experience as an engineer. And I have started Smart Infrastructure. I told you, I'll just give you a brief of Smart Infrastructure. This is the simulation I am doing as part of, this is my first interaction with the students. 1 hour I explain about opportunities in career, and then we also The challenge that we are facing among civil engineers is we are not connected. In India, if I send a message, how many civil engineers I can reach, either through media or email or Facebook? I can't reach more than 10,000. This is my experience. So we are not connected. Engineers are not connected. Because we are powerful, they don't want us to get connected, the society. So I want to connect. And then ideas. We have a lot of ideas, but we don't share. And fellowship, friendship among ourselves. So this is to be a best, we will conduct these competitions and all, we become friends. And we can get connected. Next is the LEAP, Leadership in Engineering Advancements and Practices, is a program where we give 56 topics. Like whatever I have shown you, whatever I learned in 30 years, I try to explain topic-wise, metro rail projects, smart cities, affordable housing, or design of RCC, practically, what is to be done, steel structures, detailing and all. So, and internships, this is our contribution to students, internships, projects, training and placement facility. And then we have Incube, that is incubation of startups. If you have an idea, if you want to be on your own in civil engineering, so we help you do it. We help you do it, become an entrepreneur. The startups, we also even have the funding arrangements for those startups. If any one of you have the ideas, you can come to us. And finally, the barriers, the public audit and awareness. Actually, I told you, GHMC doesn't have enough engineers. And we see in our colleges, they dig a trench and they don't put the road back. But you know, there is, as per any contract, there is a road to be laid. They have not done. The money is shared between contractor and the engineer in charge, or corporator. That is the bad thing that is happening. Why don't we question it? Let us question for our right, for our opportunity. So this is where our warriors work for it. So I invite all of you to be part of this movement which I have started, and I want to achieve my goal of connecting with all the civil engineers in our country, and that's why I asked you for your mobile number and email to this. You register with us, don't have to pay anything, just connect with us. Let us share our ideas, let us share our problems, let us solve our problems together. So this is my objective of meeting you today, and if you have any questions, I welcome.
Right. Okay.
It's the same thing, you can come. So, do you have any questions to ask about your plans?
Please don't hesitate, you can ask any question, you can introduce yourself, from which year you are, you can ask questions. Please raise your hand, I will bring the mic.
Yeah. Last time, my mail ID and number is there. So, ask me.
Hello sir.
Yeah.
My name is Bhargava. I am pursuing my 4th year. So your vision is that we shouldn't leave civil engineering and continue in it. But you told that after 40 years we will have so much growth, not like IT. So if you see present, if 4th year we don't have placements, and if we go out and do some less salary job in civil engineering only. But if you see, I am not telling about me, general all people, they will have pressures from home, all relatives and society, how they are seeing, how much salary we are getting. Considering all this, we can't leave our opportunity of getting placements and all and go for outside doing some less salary, and we can't think about future after 40 years what we are doing and all.
That's a good question. It is but human. It is the nature of any human being to take the best what is available immediately. You must be getting a lot of mails. They just deposit 5,000 rupees, tomorrow you'll get 5 crores into your account. You must have received that. And those who want 5 crores tomorrow will lose 5,000 today. So same thing is happening in career. That's why in this simulation I tell about this example. I'm not talking about 40 years, sorry. If you draw the curve of IT fellow and a civil engineer, if you draw the growth curves of these two guys, the IT fellow growth curve starts flattening after 5 years of experience. And the civil fellow's growth curve starts going asymptotic beyond 5 years. This is the curve actually. I am telling from the experience. If you want, you can do your own survey. Don't go by what I am saying today. You can ask the engineers who are working in the field and check what is the growth. Of average, I am not talking about the best. If you ask me the best, I am the best in my batch of engineering. I am the best in my batch of IIT. I can tell you that confidently. Not in terms of what is my net worth today, but in terms of how I enjoy my life today. This is most important. You have to balance between wealth and thinking, health and thinking, mental health. This is very important. I have seen my friends losing their life at the age of 42. They worked hard in IT companies, they lost their health, they lost their life end of the day. They didn't bother about the health. So it is the only profession where you can balance everything. And you can survey this, what is the average earning of IT professional at the 5 years experience and the average earning of civil engineer with 5 years experience. I am only telling you sacrifice for first 5 years, that's all. I know it is a tougher thing to convince your parents, but why you have to convince your parents? It's your life. Your father and mother won't come to you once you cross 40 years to save you from your turmoil there. Because I am sharing with you. I am seeing a lot of my friends struggling who have gone to the IT. Have I answered? Bhargava, did I answer your question?
Well, I just whatever Engineer Surya Prakash has rightly pointed out, to supplement that, it is not just if you join some civil engineering company, but you should have that zeal and enthusiasm that you should be a good civil engineer. That is one point. And second thing is, sorry for that, you should not run after the temporary or short-term benefits. That's what I was mentioning, like higher salary or the comforts. I should work only in the AC room. If you leave that aside and if you put in hard work, definitely after 5 years you'll be earning more and you'll be having satisfaction more than about. I'm right.
Just to motivate you all, I share my own experience. See, as sir mentioned, I was, please listen. I am a standing example here. I worked in the software industry for 10 years and I then moved out. But whereas sir was in the civil engineering field, right through his career, and you can see the difference. So nobody admits failure. Please listen. Please listen. Please listen. Nobody admits failure in a group like this. Still I am admitting only to motivate you, all of you. So don't deviate to the extent possible. Don't deviate from our field.
Tell last thing. People talk about startups. I just want you to compare the startups in IT and startups in our field, civil engineering. Ramki Engineers, Ramki Infra, Ramki Enviro Engineers, Ramki Estates is the startup by a civil engineer just 25 years back. And today it is a 10,000 crore company. You show me in Hyderabad an IT startup which is doing $2 billion turnover being in Hyderabad. No. Nagarjuna Constructions is a startup from Hyderabad. It is a 10,000 crore company today, again. I can give you 100 examples of startups. They don't have the highest innovation, definitely. No. But they have the commitment. So it is the only profession where if you want to be an entrepreneur, you can become an entrepreneur without funding even. I will guide that, how to become an entrepreneur in civil engineering. So this is the only field, you have the best opportunity. But only thing is there are two categories, either you be an employee or an entrepreneur. So in both ways, civil engineering gives the best satisfaction. This is what, and if you have any question, I don't want to waste the time of so many people, you can interact with me personally. I can solve your problem if you have a problem. If you don't have an employment, I can get you employment. I am confident. I am a person who promises jobs for hundreds of people and get them. It is possible actually. I only need commitment. I want to ask the last question. How many of you, except first year student, how many of you have attendance more than 80%? This answers your question. This answers your question. 80% is the minimum attendance required to learn anything actually, whether you are committed or not. This shows. And 95% is the normal average I expect from a student actually, good student. 95% attendance. And I see, I mean, most of you have chosen civil engineering, but most of you have chosen civil engineering, but most of you are not having 80% attendance. I am very sad about it. But still doesn't matter. If you have commitment, if you are honest to the profession and career, you can grow well. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself Ramya from Civil first year. Actually, when I was like, I had a rank of like, I had a rank of 5.9 and I am 5,009. And like, I was pakka that I'll get a seat in CBIT civil. Like, my mom inquired about like her friends and all, whose sons and daughters were in this branch, like in this. So they're like, girls, don't take a risk at all. Why only for girls like that, discrimination and all?
Yeah, you have raised a very good point, which we don't address. You please visit my office in Kairathabad. 60% of our employees are ladies. And it's not that only in office I have ladies working. Even in my sites I have ladies working. And I found women are the best in our profession because they have the integrity, commitment, honesty. That means whatever 8 hours they work, they definitely give more than what a man can work. And yeah, I agree. In the society, people are thinking civil engineer means you can't be with the mixing machine and all that. It's not civil engineer's job. Mixing concrete is not civil engineer's job. We have batching plant. The real civil engineers deal with batching plants, automatic batching plant. Yesterday I was in a steel plant, integrated steel plant, which produces 2 lakh tons of steel in a year. And you know how many people are working? It's only 15 people. 15 people producing 2 lakh tons of steel. Integrated steel plant from melting ore to getting the steel rod out. Back, all mechanized. So engineering also we have mechanized now. We are talking about precast construction. We are talking about pre-engineered building. So please don't worry. Even women have good opportunities in civil engineering. Maybe better than men.
Any other questions? Please note down the address.
Photo
If you have any questions, you can continue to ask.
उस पे टाइप कर रहे हैं यार.
Good afternoon to all of you. Good afternoon. You're all, I used to tell to each and every civil engineering student, you're all rare civil engineers. But be civil engineers, anyway, you are going to become civil engineers. But whatever the Surya Prakash has rightly pointed out, the society is looking for the quality civil engineers. rather than quantity civil engineers. I think every day we are seeing in the newspapers. First you discuss about the bad things, what that is going to happen in the society. So automatically I think your mind will fresh up and you will get that enthusiasm actually. I have to deal the things which that we are going to lose. So please all of you think about your parents. Everybody says that they want to settle as early as possible. They want to earn money as early as possible. Quick money, okay? So that's why everybody is working only for money, not for the sake of satisfaction of their life. Money is the only one part only. Okay? Remaining so many things you have to sacrifice. Then only you will become good citizen of this country. So please, all of you keep in that mind. Don't switch over from one field to the other field. Because IT field, I think already rightly pointed out, they used to keep on change within 1 year or 2 years. If they don't change, they may think that they didn't have any information, they are not suitable for that particular field. That is the reason why they used to keep on change. Where the civil engineer, they used to stick on to the job quite longer time. And after that, I think after 35 years or 40 years, today the highest salary is paid only for the quality civil engineering. If you can go to abroad, I think environmental engineering, transportation engineering. So these are all the important fields actually, because the society is looking. So if you want to serve to the poor people, this is the only discipline I think you can do better job. So please try to stick on to your discipline and try to learn the new technologies that are coming in the civil engineering. Today I think everybody is talking about analysis. You can earn any amount of money provided you have a knowledge. So please acquire knowledge and earn some certificates during your 4-year stage CBIT. At least you can do the CAD packages or FM packages or any structural analysis packages. Okay? So that with that I think definitely you'll have an edge over other engineers who are coming from the other colleges. Because now nearly we have spent around 30 lakhs on procurement of various softwares that are required for the civil engineers. Recently also I got a proposal from the civil engineering department for 8 lakhs. Immediately I am going to accept. But if you don't utilize all these, what for we are going to invest in so much of money? So please try to practice and try to learn when you are there here. And Sir rightly pointed, those who got more than 80% of the attendance, definitely will get at least 60% marks or 70% marks. Those who are going to maintain 90% or 95%, definitely will get 90% marks. So keeping that in mind, please try to attend classes regularly and maintain 90% or 100% attendance in the classes and try to interact with the professional engineers like Surya, Prakash or experts in that particular field. Whatever the field that you are going to choose, either water resources or structural engineering or whatever the field that you are comfortable, please try to choose, and you have to live on your own. Don't depend on peer pressure or parents' pressure. Please select your own decision, because the decision is the very, very important. Once if you have taken the decision to join the CBIT, that is civil engineering department, that is your property. So you have already taken the decision to join in this discipline. So please continue in the same discipline, not to migrate, and finally achieve what are the goals that you are going to set. So and like I think Mokshamanu sister, I think like MV also, you are one of this group will become definitely like KL Rao or Mokshamanu sister Rao. Okay. So that is your main objective. And if you can set a goal like that one, then only you can reach. Otherwise, if you don't set tomorrow what I am going to do, that if you can set a goal, and that is going to be the fail. Okay? So please take the problems. I think recently the Film Nagar, nearly 3 days, the entire media is only used only that particular failure only. But they will not expose success stories. They will only expose only the failure stories. Okay? So if you don't want to expose yourself, you have to maintain the quality, and definitely automatically you will be the #1 civil engineer in this particular field. Okay? I wish you all good luck. And with regarding the ragging, I think first year students also there here. Some of the seniors they are going to the block M and block that's N and K. So these 3 blocks I think everybody is going there and there. It seems I'm getting calls from the parents also. So please all of you keep away from the juniors. Not to touch, and if you are going to touch, you are burning your fingers. Please remember. Once if I'm going to take action, no person of leaving anybody here. If it is going to be suspended or removed from the class, and it is your duty to see that that should not happen in CBIT. Don't give a chance to me to take action against our own students here. Okay? Please try to keep away from the ragging and protect them. They are all like your brothers and sisters. Please try to take them as your brothers and sisters and protect them, because they are all in fear, and every day I am getting calls from the parents. Even though I am saying that there is no ragging in CBIT, but still some people they are having some problems. Please try to avoid. Okay? Thank you once again for spending your time here. Now I request
So, that was a wonderful message, guidance given by Engineer Surya Prakash garu, and reiterated by our Principal Prakash sir. And thanks to Prakash garu for, and before that, to say one word. He has given a wonderful message, but it's of no use if you leave it within these four walls. You should carry forward this and spread it and act accordingly. Please keep it in mind always. And that is the purpose he has come here, to bring quality in the engineering system. His main idea is this. So he is with us in the sense, not civil engineering students of CBIT alone. It is throughout the country. He is struggling for that. Give a big hand for that. Now I request the Principal Prakash garu to please hand over a moment to Surya Prakash.
I request all of you to go to our Facebook page, Smart Impress. It is a Facebook page. Smart Impress is one word actually, Smart Impress. And like the page and invite your civil engineering friends to like the page. That's all I expect from today's lesson. Thank you.
On behalf of the students and the staff of CBIT, I would like to thank Engineer Surya Prakash garu for giving us an eye-opener. Most of the students actually don't know what to do after they graduate. So probably this will give them a very positive outlook towards civil engineering as a subject. Like Bhargav was rightly pointing out, the opportunities or the money involved or that they get from a computer engineering background is what they are looking for, but sticking on to our background, that is civil engineering, will give fruitful and much better benefits in the long run. Thank you so much.
And now I request all the students to go to their respective classes. Thank you.